the city streets when a car suddenly appeared from around the corner. Everything happened very fast. I was sure it would hit me, but then someone pushed me aside. Oh, the guy who saved me looked weird. I wanted to thank him, but he turned around and left without a word. When I got home, I heard Mom talking on the phone again. She sounded very nervous, but as soon as she saw me, she hung up. Is something wrong? No, it's none of your business. At that moment, I finally ran out of patience. You don't care about me at all. You wouldn't even care if I got hit by a car. I went up to my room and slammed the door shut. Mom woke me up the next morning. I was hoping she'd apologize, but her words shocked me. Pack your things. Why? Are we moving again? Just do as I say. After I packed my suitcase, Mom handed me some money and a note with an address. I need to leave for a while. You'll be staying with my friends. They're expecting you. Then she called me a taxi without bothering to explain anything. I don't know those people. What if they don't like me? You're sweet and you get along with everyone. It'll be fine. I immediately remembered my new classmates and I felt even more miserable. The taxi stopped in front of a luxurious mansion. When I came up to the gate, it opened automatically. There were snake emblems on it, as well as on the fountain in the courtyard. Did Mom's friends like reptiles a lot? Soon, a butler came out of the mansion and showed me to a spacious room. You are going to be staying in this room. Please wait here. After he left, I looked around, feeling lost. The interior was very tasteful, but the room looked a little gloomy. There was an adjacent bathroom with a jacuzzi. Since I had nothing to do, I filled up the jacuzzi and poured a whole bottle of bath foam into it. Then I got in and wrapped my arms around my knees. Why was Mom doing this? What was going on? The door behind me suddenly creaked open and someone walked into the bathroom. I turned around and saw Jasper. He looked just as shocked as I felt. You, what's your name? I snapped out of my shock and hid in a cloud of foam. Close your eyes! What are you doing here? Get out! Jasper reluctantly turned around and went back out the door. I stepped out of the jacuzzi, got dressed, and followed him. Answer me. What the heck are you doing here? It turned out that mansion belonged to Jasper's family. When I told him about my mom, Jasper grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to his dad's office. But when we left my room, we ran into another guy. Wait a minute. I knew him. He was the one who saved me. Travis. How many times do I have to tell you to stay away from me? Travis turned out to be Jasper's personal bodyguard. What other surprises were waiting for me? Mr. Miller, Jasper's dad, seemed like a very unpleasant person. He was sitting in a leather armchair and looked intimidating. That's right, Jasper. Lassie's going to be staying with us for some time. You're kidding me. First you get me a babysitter and now you're letting a hobo live here. I'm not a hobo. And Travis is not a babysitter. He's your bodyguard. Mr. Miller gave his son such a fierce look, he immediately stopped arguing. That evening, the Cobras came to Jasper's house. When they saw me, their eyes bugged out. What is she doing here? My dad took in this hobo out of the goodness of his heart. Ugh, she's ruining our club's atmosphere. Feel free to leave at any time. I tried not to pay any attention to those snobs, but I still heard bits and pieces of their conversation. It turned out Jasper had drawn inspiration from his family symbol when he created the club. There were tons of snakes in the mansion. The club members, for example. At one point, I grew tired of Samantha's hissing, and I went outside. That's when I saw Mr. Miller in the backyard. He was talking to a man in black glasses and a hat. That Mr. X looked quite suspicious. Mr. Miller suddenly looked in my direction. My blood ran cold, and I quickly hid behind a tree. When I came to school the next day, my classmates were discussing something animatedly. Some psycho tried to rob a bank last night. Luckily, an alarm went off, and cops arrived on time. The thief escaped, but rumor has it they were wearing a funny hat. I immediately thought about Mr. Miller meeting Mr. X the day before. I wondered if it was just a coincidence. While I was lost in thought, Jasper kept trying to get rid of his bodyguard. Stay away from me! Travis folded his arms over his chest and shook his head. Travis followed Jasper wherever he went. He even waited for him by the bathroom. I couldn't help but laugh as I watched it all. Jasper got what he deserved. Something was bugging me though. Why had Mr. Miller suddenly hired a bodyguard for Jasper? It turned out I asked the question out loud. Don't you know? Mr. Miller is the richest man in town phone. They say he has connections to the criminal world, and that's how he made his fortune. Mr. Miller did look like he could be a mobster. In the evening, the Cobras came to the mansion again and played Mafia. Ironic, right? I didn't want to talk to them and decided to go to my room. But on the way there, I heard Mr. Miller's voice and got curious. So I crept down the hallway and stopped in front of his office. Mr. Miller was talking on the phone, and then I heard him say my mom's name.
I've already paid you a lot. Lassie is with me. She's fine.
What was going on? Had Mom sold me to a Mafia boss? The next second, Mr. Miller noticed me. This time, I didn't hide fast enough. He came out into the hallway and I backed away. Mr. Miller frowned, and I got so scared my legs started to shake. Before he could say anything, I turned around and ran away. Once I was outside, I decided to call Mom. I'd had enough. It was time for her to come and save me from the snake's nest. But Mom didn't answer her phone. That was going too far, even for her. It was so unfair I wanted to cry, but I tried to keep it together. As I was walking down the road, it suddenly started to rain. Why was the weather in the city always so terrible? I had nowhere to hide. I'd resigned myself to getting soaked through, but then someone held an umbrella above me. I looked up and saw Travis. Shouldn't you be looking after Jasper? Travis kept imitating an ancient Greek statue. Can you speak? I wasn't expecting him to answer, so I was startled when I heard his voice. Yes. I haven't thanked you for saving me yet, so thank you. Travis said nothing, but the corners of his lips twitched. He spoke to me and even smiled. That was progress. Eventually, I had to go back to the mansion with Travis. At some point, we heard sirens and several police cars drove past us. Then I saw a man in a hat. It was Mr. X. He climbed up a fire escape and started running across rooftops. Then a familiar car caught my eyes. It was Mr. Miller's Jeep. He definitely had connections to the criminal world. The next day, I was in for an unpleasant surprise when I came to school. Samantha had written hobo on my locker. When she and Jasper laughed at me, I exploded like a pressure cooker. You think you're so cool just because your dad's a mobster?
Don't you dare mention that gossip. My father isn't a criminal.
How naive can you be? Jasper was furious. He took a step toward me, but Travis stepped between us. Jasper glared at him and went into the classroom. I tried to call Mom after school again, but her phone was off. I was still mad at her, but I was also worried. What if something bad had happened to her? That evening, I decided it was time to act. I waited until everyone had gone to sleep and snuck out of my room. Luckily, Mr. Miller hadn't locked his office door. Hoping to find some clues, I searched his drawers and soon found an envelope. There were photos of me inside. They had been taken back when we lived in California. Had Mr. Miller been following me? But why? My stomach was in knots. Then someone walked into the office. I jerked in surprise and tripped over the carpet. Right as I was about to fall, strong arms held me up. Travis? It was the first time I'd seen him without his glasses on. He had such beautiful green eyes. Travis let me go and pressed a finger to his lips. We quietly left the office. I was afraid Travis would rat me out, but that didn't happen. It seemed he was on my side after all. Early the next morning, I decided to go to the house Mom and I used to live in. Living in the mansion was too scary, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. On the way home, I felt like I was being followed. Could it be Mr. Miller again? When I arrived, it turned out new residents had already moved into our house. I called Mom, but she didn't answer. What was I supposed to do now? After giving it some thought, I decided I would not go back to the mansion, even though my things were still there. I got a taxi and headed to a hotel. I had some money left, just enough to rent a small room. The hotel was in the city center, but for some reason, the driver turned in the opposite direction.
The road there is closed.
At first, I didn't think much of it, but soon I started to worry. We were driving toward the outskirts. Stop the car. I want out. The driver ignored me and my heart started pounding. Where were we going? I wanted to call someone, but as luck would have it, my phone died. After a while, we stopped by an abandoned building. After the driver got out of the taxi, I tried to open the door, but it was locked. My palms were sweating. I was barely keeping a lid on my panic. Then I saw Mr. X come up to the taxi driver. It was definitely him. Mr. Miller was behind it all. I kept trying to get out, and then Travis suddenly crept up to the car. I had never been so glad to see him. He used a pick to get the car door open. I snuck out of the car and we drove away. Travis had come for me in Jasper's car and parked it nearby. I threw my arms around Travis, relieved. You saved me again! I asked Travis us to take me to the hotel. I wanted to calm down and then maybe go to the police. But when we walked into the lobby, Mr. Miller was standing there. Are you on his side?
It's about time we talked. Your mother and I go way back. She always wanted to make a fortune and didn't mind breaking the law to achieve her goals. I loved her, but I couldn't accept that. So I left, set up a business, and developed it legally. I only found out about you a few months ago.
Found out about me? What did he mean by that? The answer was obvious, but I didn't dare think it.
Your mother was pregnant when we broke up.